welcome back to the channel. I realized something recently. I started running since 2024 and it has been about 1.5 years coming in, and I figured that it might be a great idea right now for me to kind of do a little of a snapshot of where I'm at and to document what the progress I've made so far and what progress will look like in the future, right? And I think the biggest thing I want to document here is where I want to go in the next 6 to 12 months. I'm not like a normal elite runner or like a regular runner where I just have a lot of fun, right? I think that is really extremely important for me as well, having fun. But I think what's more important to me is creating meanings, creating contributions towards what I do in the running area, because running have really changed my life for the past 1.5 years, and I know it will continue to do so in the next many years that I have. So I kind of want to spread this message of running and taking care of yourself is such a big thing for me, and I want that to seat in your mind, and hopefully you are also doing that for yourself. And for those of you who want to follow someone along their running journey, but on top of that finding meaning out of it, I want to share more of what I found, right? I want to travel more to places. So without further ado, I want to start off with the snapshot of where I'm at. Let's kind of bring ourselves into my Strava here. This is the best ways to kind of document where I am from the beginning, right? I'm grateful my friend introduced myself to running with the Strava app to begin with. So I literally have my very first run since I started picking up this hobby. And I want to show a little bit of things, right? I want to show you that I am not a regular runner. I don't have great endurance or great speed to begin with, right? And I start off really simple gears, right? I use a little Apple Watch SE here. I started off with a park run, right? A 5K little local event that I have, and my pace was 7:07, right? So barely making it to 35 minutes for the 5K here. And I still remember I was like barely making it. I was trying hard. I was really going hard on it. And then fast forward to October 2024, I did my very first 10K race about 3 months into my training, right? That is where I'm at. At that time, I was aiming at a sub 60 minutes, sub-hour 10K, and I was like going really hard. And very grateful. I was able to finish it pretty quickly here. And as you can see, my established time for about 10K is actually this 54 minutes 48 seconds. And this is for me to say that, like, hey, I have done 3 months of training. I did about 3 to 4 runs per week, just following my training plan. I don't have a personal trainer, by the way. I just kind of create my own plan, and I use a app called Runner. That app is pretty good. Now I'm not sponsored by them at all, but if you ever think about wanting to have like a training plan without you having to be like going to ChatGPT or something like that to create your own plan, or spend as much money to hire a personal coaching, I think Runner app is a great middle ground where you pay for something that's not super expensive, but at the same time it gives you a really good like baseline of what you have to train for. I can show you different videos about how I use Runner, because I don't follow Runner to the dot, right? I think there is a part where I need to follow kind of my body, right? What Runner does not do is it does not know exactly how tired you are, exactly your body conditions and stuff like that. It can only tell based on your pace, based on your heart rate. It's not 100% accurate. So I'll show the different videos about it. Let's go back to our snapshot here. So 10K, very first 10K, I did successfully do this in 60 minutes, and I purposely planned this before I go on my very first full marathon, which is 10 months from July, which is May 2025. I want to do a 10K race, 1 half marathon, and then work myself up to full marathon. So the next race I did was the half marathon here. I did it in 1 hour 58 minutes and 56 seconds, and my goal was basically the same as 10K, and I was like, okay, if I can do sub 60 10K, hopefully I can do a sub 2 hour half marathon. And I did it. And this one, I can start to feel a little bit of a hitting the wall type of feeling, where I felt like the last 10K or so, or 5 to 6K, as you can see the pace in front of me right now, right? I was running consistently at around 5:30, 5:20, 5:30, right? And then at 11th or 12K, I started to run slower, right? And I cannot keep up the pace for the last, 3 to 4 kilometers. So that's the first taste of me running to the wall and I can't go any faster. And at that time, I was still very hopeful, and I was like, okay, I can do a sub 2 hour half marathon. Then, hey, theoretically, I can do a sub 4 hour full marathon, right? So at that moment, February 2025, exactly about 3 months before my full marathon race, my goal was set to, okay, let's do a sub 4 hour full marathon. Now, of course, things doesn't go as planned. I continue to follow my exact plan that I did. I just thought, okay, if I just do the exact plan that I have, making it 4 hours for full marathon is not a problem. I still remember the weather was great. It was a little bit hot. For me, going into that, I just followed the exact same plan that I have, run at that exact same pace that I need for sub 4. And here comes the reality, right? The reality is I was able to keep up the pace pretty well until 21 kilometers. I have to slow down more and more. And at some point, I have to walk a little bit, right? On the 33rd and the 35th kilometers, I have to walk. So like my average pace went down to like 8. And at the end, I finished the race at 4 hour 33 minutes, 21 seconds. That was technically my personal record for my full marathon. That's my first benchmark. And you can guess how frustrated I was at myself at that time, because I thought I was going to finish sub 4 and I wasn't even close to it. But I think after some reflections, after some going through, I'm very proud that I was able to finish everything, finish a full marathon in 10 months, providing where I was 10 months ago. Just to finish it, I think is a big accomplishment. Also, I have made the commitment that I'm gonna seek for a revenge for this race, and I really, really want that sub 4, and that is exactly the goal that I set for myself in the next full marathon, exact same race that I'm going to do in May. I felt way more ready than I was last year. I think my mental, my physical are so much more ready going into the race, knowing what to expect. So yeah, I think breaking sub 4 hour is inevitable for me, as long as I continue staying injury free and continue to stuck with my plan. So besides the race, I want to break my records on my full marathon. There's a lot of things that actually from a longer term I want to do. Right now, the way I see where I am with my running journey is building my foundations of my body in order for me to share more of my journey, right? Shooting videos, talking in front of a camera while I'm running, those kind of things. I felt like my body is still not super good at that, and I need probably another 6 to 12 months for me to build that foundation. And I can basically do more while I'm running, right? Right now, when I train, I have to focus on training. I cannot really do a lot of different things and think a lot of different ideas. So I just gonna have to stay disciplined and do more when I go about two directions, right? I want to run more internationally. So next year, I want to join a race in Asia. And while I'm doing that, I want to explore that area, explore more things from there. And then I started a movement for myself, making meaningful content in this channel to inspire people. So I want to do more of that for sure. I'm building momentum right now towards it. So here we go. This is the snapshot of where I'm at right now. 2 months before my next full marathon, where I will be competing the same marathon I did last year and aiming to break that sub 4 hour mark that I have. So continue to follow this channel if you like to see where I finished at. Subscribe, comment, let me know. And if you are a fellow runner, or if you like what you see, also comment and let me know. I would love to have some interactions with you to know more about yourself as well. And yeah, we'll build a little community there and conversations and discussions about running overall as a lifestyle, as something that is a passion instead of a competitive thing. And we'll go from there. All right, my name is Felix, and I'll see you in the next video.